the time difference thing that messed him up.
Multiculturalism is getting us. When you're a global outfit, you're a
Yeah, it's
global
true.
syndicate. You got to work on the time transition.
It's true. All right, we are live now. We are
Mhm.
live. Welcome to the Footy Fantasy Podcast. My name is EJ, and glad to. You guys can see I'm really happy to be here today. Usually, I don't always come to the podcast, but I'm happy to do this today. All right, let's go. Let's go. Today we're talking about it's been a super weekend this weekend. So we had the Manchester City Derby, a Chelsea match. Sorry, it's not Derby. Manchester City and Chelsea, and then we had the North London Derby. So we're going to talk about those two marquee games for the weekend, and then we're going to hop into talking about other matches. We'll talk a little bit about United. I think this podcast is semi-United podcast, so there are no United fans here today, but we'll talk about them. And then touch a little bit about what we always do, the kudos for the week and the donkey of the week. So, and sorry about the time issues, but I'm glad you guys are here. So just join us and participate, and let's have a good time. All right, I do want to welcome our guests. You are very, very frequent guests. So you guys know Yannicka, our Manchester City fan. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me as always.
And Stephen Ono, I'm happy to see you. I wasn't sure if you would come, but
Come on. I'm a man about this, but I'm not happy to see you. I was hoping you wouldn't come.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's do this. We're waiting for some of our Chelsea representation, but they'll come. They're not hiding. Trust me. The Chelsea fans do not hide, so he'll come. But we'll start with the Manchester City game, and all of us can pitch in and talk about what we saw. But Yannicka, you guys got the victory after 4 tries. Pep facing Tuchel. This is the 4th time, and some of us weren't sure if he would pull it off, but he did by the narrowest of margin. So tell us what you thought about that game.
Yeah, our record at Stamford Bridge is not that bad, really. We did win there last year. So I think a lot of people said, oh, it's because it was Lampard, blah, 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 which is true. They have played better under Tuchel. I think last season, the 3 games that they won, it was a bit of a weird one for us because the first game, I think we played 2 DMs. The second game we played 1, and then I think the first game we played 1, the second game we played 2, and then we played none. So it was a bit. Pep was messing about with it. I think he was trying to work out how to kind of. I think he was overthinking it. I think he was thinking too much about Chelsea rather than thinking, let's just do what Man City do best. He was kind of thinking, oh, what are Chelsea going to do? How do I stop Chelsea? And I don't think you should do that when you have a team like Man City. So I think the first game, Chelsea were better than us. The second game, the one at our place, City should have been 2-0 up in that game. I don't know what Aguero was doing with that penalty. It was poor. And then after that, it gave Chelsea all the momentum. And, City kind of gave up. I think they'd settled on a draw. And it was, the 92nd minute? Chelsea went on and won it. But they needed to win to get top 4. So they had more drive in that game. And then the Champions League final, I just think Pep got it all wrong. So this game, he went with a pretty straightforward City team that have been doing well. And we did what we do when we turn up. I think in terms of going forward, City need to be a little bit more clinical. But apart from that, I thought City played quite well. But when we turn up, and it's the same with Chelsea, when Chelsea are on their game, no one can beat them. And I feel like the same for City. So I think Chelsea weren't great, but I do think City were good at the same time. So, yeah, it's what we needed. I think we needed to kind of make a statement because we were already being kind of ruled out at this early stage. So I think City needed to go there, win, and then hopefully we can kind of win at Anfield.
Right.
Which our record there is terrible. But if we can win at Anfield, then it's great. If we can't, at least we haven't lost both. So it's just one of them.
Yeah. And it's a busy week for City. You play PSG midweek and then
Yeah.
so 3 huge games. So this first one was very, very
Yeah.
important for you guys. Idris, you're back and forth, but you're back.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. You
Awesome.
want to tell us what you thought about the match?
I can't come and keep myself, man. I'm like, it was. You know what's kind of sad? It was like expecting it to happen. I was hoping we could like best Pep again, but I mean 3 in a row. I'm in a row. Sorry, I can't see that like with a master tactician like Pep. But that being said, I felt Tuchel overthought this. I felt like he overthinkered. And I mean it's I don't say it's predictable, but it's kind of like expected. But right now I guess everyone can play with like kind of like a much more calm approach, knowing football when invincible. Because it was becoming like one of those never in doubt moments this season. But then again, like it's from what I watched, it was just more of like meh. We were gonna hit them with a high line and set up the team in such a way where we could actually dominate the midfield. But then again, we weren't really doing much because the supply to Lukaku and Werner was literally up there. And for me, even watching, it was like I didn't watch it live. I had to watch it all over again. And just like following and like looking at all tactical like battles, we were second best. So, even when we got the balls, we didn't really move as fast. It was, I think, he just overthought it, in my own opinion. But then again, there's a lingering issue, though. Like, well, I would like to bring up, like for Chelsea, City capitalizing something that like every other person was been afraid of capitalizing on, which is the sort of like to the attacker. We wanted a striker that was able to finish, a striker that would create spaces, would create chances, would make the team move. And we were giving my homeboy judge, the argument because everybody was like, "Oh, Idris comes to your boys winning Ballon d'Or." Yeah, because he's in a good team. He's in good teams in Italy and he's a good team in Chelsea. Not to say he's a bad player, he's a very good player. But then again, there are limitations. Like everybody keeps talking as if these things are like, oh my God, it's such a Ballon d'Or. Yesterday was an example of limitations. Like yes, Kante wasn't at his best, but you can't expect Kante to do everything. You know what I mean? Like can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. But like you can't expect him to do everything. You can't expect him to be the go-to guy, whether he's on the pitch or off the pitch. It's kind of crazy that like no one is talking about a creative midfielder in Chelsea. No one is talking about the amount of chances we created because City stifled us. And I maybe that's why the coach was like Tuchel was overthinking it. But then again, you play Pep, so I expect you to kind of like try something. Again, it is what it is. Right? Congrats, Yannicka and the boys. But we'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. Though, I was going to ask you about no shots on target and what you thought about it, but sorry. You're saying that City just blocked off everything, right? Do you think that's more on Tuchel or Chelsea the way you set up, or that's City? Because City weren't especially defensive.
No, they never are.
Yeah,
to be honest, like they're not a defensive team. Even when everyone was like, oh, like Pep reorganized the entire way they play, made it narrow so that the defenders are not too far wide because in the Premier League you pay for it, right? But like in all honesty, we are set up to be very hard to beat too as well. We're set up very hard to crack and break. The issue here is what do we do with our possession? What do we do in our transitions when the team actually comes to play? And when the team is a very good team that matches our talents. We got away with a lot of stuff. Everybody's like, oh man, like I would give Lukaku man of the match. Everybody would be like, oh boy, all of you just gassed about Lukaku, he didn't score any goal. We could see what Lukaku was doing to create space for us to move forward against any team. But when you play a mature team like City, first and foremost, they give you nothing on the ball. Nothing on the ball. Like you have to chase that. Like rabbit hole. There's another term for rabbit holes. You would chase down worse tunnels to get a ball from City player, right? Like they already don't give you anything. So when you don't have a chance to create or transition, then you're just out of the game. And we never were like that with Chelsea. That was something everyone was kind of impressed about. But in this case, it was just like we didn't create. The big problems we've always had are beginning to raise head again, which is we cannot supply. Everybody talks about, Lampard's team created a decent XGA from Werner missed a bunch of chances because he could run. Chelsea creates chances. But go and look at the chances we're creating. You need an exceptional talent to bury it. You need to be there at the very right time. They're never clear-cut chances. Like I never see where there's a Hazard or Cesc or a Liverpool, for example. Even City yesterday, they would tear through and there's an actual pass to the foot. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that at Chelsea. And even when you end up passing to the player, I don't want to use the word rapist, but there's a joke we used to have in our group chat. These guys got rapist touches. Like it's like, they touch the ball and it's like 3, 4, 5 steps. Every bad thing about Lukaku was on display yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we couldn't even cover our guy. Cover our guy Shane. Again, he's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit my players and say they're all bad. But there is this thing at Chelsea. If you meet a team like City, they will stifle you. They literally cut the supply from midfield to attack, and that was the end. So, and that's been a problem for a long time. It's not even a Tuchel problem. That's my worry now. It's not a Tuchel problem. It's not a Jorginho problem. It's not, it's not, I'm not even bashing any of these guys. It's just, since Hazard left, we've never had that kind of player. Since Cesc left, we've never had that kind of player that you're sure create chances for your attackers to score.
Do you think Pulisic is that kind of player? Can be that type?
No,
he's always injured.
Yeah, he's always. Well, he can't. He's not that characteristic of player. To me, Pulisic is an edgy.
I don't think he can get there. Even he's still young. I mean, he's barely played with y'all.
I know, but he's not a creative. See, when we're talking creative, and this is how far soccer has changed, right? We're talking about creative midfielders, people that can spot the pass in tight spaces. We're talking Pulisic right now. We're probably going to talk Son. We're going to talk Bruno Fernandes. These guys are pseudo strikers now. When I'm mentioning this kind of players, we're talking of a player like Cesc Fabregas. Throw the pass to a needle. You could see this guy's about to, this guy's about to go, so you're not going to waste the run. Give it to him at the right pace. Give it to him in the right side of goal, the right pace of the ball, so that he doesn't have to do more. We don't have that. We're crossing balls in, we're looping ball. The player has to do extra touch. Sometimes, don't you miss those days when a number 10, traditional number 10, Hazard, will pass the ball to the striker and he barely has to do anything?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You miss that kind of player. But the thing that confused me about today was I couldn't believe you didn't play Thiago Silva, first of all, because it's not just that he helps with aerial balls, but he also knows where to be in terms of reading the game, covering. And then once you lost, who did you lose? You lost somebody early.
It was Reece James.
Yeah, you lost. He was a crosser. Yeah, he's one of the fullbacks, right? And so once you lost him, then you brought on Thiago, but you lost the crossing element that
there you go.
all want to play. So it was just kind of
it became disjointed. We had a game plan. We lost the player. But again, I wouldn't even say we played badly because everybody was like, we're up to par. Again, we're on this high. Like everybody's expected to smash through. But I actually think it's good. It's good for the team. So they can know that they're human. They're okay. They can go with it. In my own opinion, if Chelsea is playing with less pressure, they seem to be much better. The game against City was just, as somebody would say, probably using the wrong term. It's not like the sum of mean or something like that. We've won the amount of games we're supposed to win against a massive tactician like that, and we scored like City. We can't get to the point where we're like, I'm looking at Yannick and be like, your team is not, that kind of stuff. Like, nah, man, they're a very good team. Like, at some point, her team's gonna knock me out. It's just a matter of time. It's just like a very good team. So we won 3 against them. I couldn't see us going 4 or 5. That's my thing.
I was happy to see y'all brought back down today, though. I really love Yannick. I'm happy for City's performance today.
Oh my goodness!
What you guys did last week, I was happy for it. And the way we talk about these San Antonio Hotspurs No. We're not talking about that right now. But Jesus's goal was so amazing. I mean, the way he controlled it.
It was a deflection.
No.
Like
the way he controlled it between two defenders, touch out. Come on, like I just love that from City.
That was an inshallah goal. Let's be real. Like the guy took a shot. There was no direction. You can't give me like his talent. Yannick is like, come on, Idris.
If you go back and watch Lucas Moura's second goal against Ajax, it was kind of like that. Like he receives it inside the box, really tight, like 3-4 big touches, and boom! It was. I mean, you got to appreciate that goal.
No, I mean, you'd have to take your shots.
It's not inshallah. Bro.
You can't tell that guy, man. Like it was a deflection though. Like once it's a deflection, I'm like, man, whatever.
We meant it. This is Gabby. Of course we meant it.
Oh my god.
Game player there. He was spinning Varane, like in the Champions League a few years ago. This is the guy.
Yep. I love him. How can you be talking about deflection? Oh, it was a deflection when literally your best player was the deflection king. I mean, when you get the chance, you take the shot. Frank Lampard would know that. Come on. How can you, a Chelsea fan, be telling somebody about inshallah? Oh, come on.
But wait a second. When you do it regularly, it's a pattern. Frank Lampard, it's a pattern. It's just, I mean, come on, man. You know. That was a 0-0. I actually was hoping for like a 0-0 game because I just could not see City giving us anything this time. Like I could not. I could not see. But
I feel like it could have easily been a 0-0 game. I think that goal was deflected, and I saw a joke on Twitter. Wherever I saw it, they said the only people who have scored against Chelsea this season was one was Mohammed and this other was Jesus.
Exactly. It's a miracle, bro.
It's a miracle. Can score against.
It's a miracle, man.
Exactly.
It's a miracle.
But I wanted to ask you one more question, Idris, just for you. So you're saying that the reason you lost this game, or probably weren't as effective as you would have wanted to be against a team like City, is because you don't have that creative midfielder personnel in your team currently. So are you saying that? Are you concerned about that going forward for any of these other games that you have to play in the Premier League?
Yes, I am very actually. It's also been a thing that's been at the back of our mind every time, right? Everybody's talking about Chelsea's solidity. Let's not forget, this coach is not really a back coach. It's a 4-3-2 kind of coach, right?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry. A little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the wind.
It's the wind. My apologies. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you better.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, I'm saying this coach is not really a three-back coach. He's a back four coach and a 4-3-3.
Okay.
Right? Now, we are playing a tactic. Well, he's tactically aware to set up a player based on what he has. It's okay, I'm going to get the best out of these players and still try to attack. We rarely see a back three where people can attack. You get? But then, okay, fine. What are our best ways of scoring? Aerial balls, run off the shoulder, just massive overwhelming of teams to the point where they make mistakes, something bouncing around and we can get our goal. That's been Chelsea's game. I'm not saying it's luck. It's designed to work that way, right?
Yes.
Now, when you play a team as tactical as Man City, with a coach who has literally wants to do everything within his power to stay there, right? You have to consider the fact that you need to get the ball. If you don't get the ball, there's no transitions. When you're getting transitions, they've cut off your two players. That is Werner and Lukaku. What next? You just have to stay solid. So for how long can you stay solid? And as you said, you have to happen to get a goal. Fine, we're good with that, right? But then if everybody has I'm worried about certain teams regarding this. And those teams like United, they have the firepower to transition and catch and counter. Somebody's going to get Ronaldo's going to snooze, right? United, although the coaches just let that slide. But then we get like teams that really sit deep and transition. West Ham. West Ham is a team not to joke with. You know, Aston Villa has moments where they can do that as well, right? So those are two different teams that I'm like, we meet these teams on their good day. We could concede, and it would be a problem, you know. The rest of the Premier League, I could really care less. Man City, the team that we play in, and they would transition. Man City transitions in I've seen 3 transitions in less than a minute in Man City. You're like, what's going on? You're like, what's going on? They're that good. So what do you do next? We have nothing to respond other than to hold, catch them on the run. Jorginho is good at that. He will transition if Werner can do anything on the tackle. But if Jorginho is not even in the game, you know what I mean? If Jorginho can't touch the ball, what next? There's no outlet. That's what I was explaining with Steve. There's no outlet. There's no creative player that will spot the pass, get Lukaku in his favorable position, so he can receive the ball on an advantage. We're not talking about throwing the ball and the sandwich in between like 2 defenders. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about a guy that I know as soon as the ball is coming, a Gundogan kind of player, a player like De Bruyne. They know where the next ball should go to. Like it's like.
Are you guys listening to this person? I can't even take it. I can't take it. You're like the rich kid that they buy him.
I know.
And this
like, what more do you want?
Oh, Dad! Oh, all the kids have Maseratis now. They got them Maserati. I want a Bugatti. Get out of here, Adrian! You just got Lukaku.
I know.
Creative. Did you just mention that you want De Bruyne? Somebody like De Bruyne?
Could you imagine if De Bruyne came home?
This section is over. Go.
Could you imagine De Bruyne coming home? Just saying. He came back home. Yannicka will burn this podcast down if that ever happens.
He hates Chelsea.
As a Spurs fan, I can't take part of this discussion. Look, I will say, though, I think playing 3 at the back against City is suicide. Even if it works against other normal teams, City's whole plan is to stretch you. So if you play 3 at the back, you got to be like superhuman to do it. They're going to hurt you. I think that's why you guys couldn't really get the ball to create anything. Because you play 3 at the back and City's just going to stretch you. They're going to have the ball. It's always going to be a problem.
And Spliff is hating on my wing.
I know. I had to share this post. I thought it was funny.
Let me show you, man.
He's in Miami.
Every time Chelsea loses, I can't kill myself.
What? Wow, who is this Spliff, bro?
He's having fun in Miami or wherever you are.
I'm in Miami, actually.
Okay, I see palm trees. I see the sun. I see water. So we'll accept the wind like that. That's good. That's good. Okay, so I think just overall, I definitely watched the game. It was just Man City all the way. I felt like they had giant share of possession. They had more shots, everything. They looked better. They looked sharper. Even Werner had some half chances, that I knew would not materialize into anything.
Can you imagine? I knew would not materialize into anything. Imagine. I don't blame you.
But it's just what it was, I think, like you guys said, every day is for, like we say in Nigeria, every day is for the thief. You guys have been stealing from City. You stole so many games from them over the last few months. So this was their one time to get back. So that's fine. I think we're settling in now. The season is, we're all settling in. You guys have dropped points now. You kind of see what it looks like to lose. You guys are kind of seeing what you need to move forward in the league. Everyone's calm. So I'm gonna transition to the next big match of the weekend. North London Derby. And
you know what happens?
San Antonio Hotspurs. Because people are moving. People are playing with words. People are playing with words nowadays. Not Tottenham Hotspurs. San Antonio Hotspurs.
San Antonio, baby. Let me tell you, every time we win this derby, I don't see EJ for a while. I feel like EJ is in, I don't know, like vacation in Europe. Like I mistakenly got on Facebook one time. I saw EJ in like on a desert somewhere. I don't know. That's where EJ is when we win this derby. As soon as we lose.
First class flight back home.
Invited to this podcast, and EJ is always up for it. Like, where have you even come from?
Look, I had to come and represent. Okay. Now look. So this was, I think this was either the 119th or the 190th North London Derby. I can't remember what the commentators on TV said, but it's been a long time. Everyone was. I was seeing things in the news about how Arsenal and Tottenham are like, going towards mediocrity just because of our positions in the table and kind of our form over the last few games.
Yeah.
People were saying all sorts of things. They didn't think the derby would be anything to watch. In fact, they said the last derby was boring, which is not true. If you remember, it was actually fun, and we won that one too. Yeah.
I know you remember that one because you only remember the ones y'all win. Exactly. See what I'm saying?
So I was like, I did think we would win going in, but I want to hear from you. I'll be gracious, Ono, to hear what you have to say about what did you think about the match today. You guys came in on the back of what, 2 losses in the Premier League, 3-0 losses, and you're like, Tottenham has never lost 3 games in a row by the margin of 3-0. You're about to halftime. It was the exact same score. What happened with Tottenham Spurs today? What happened? Tell us.
Well, first of all, I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan. As a San Antonio Spurs fan, I'm really an NBA fanatic. This is just my side job for today.
Okay.
So I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't watch too much of the game after your 3rd goal.
Okay.
And then I came back in the second half around 70 minutes. Okay. So I'm just giving that as a caveat. Like, what I saw first in the game, as soon as I started watching, I saw Tomiyasu do a great tackle on the left side. I see Son. So Son was dribbling. Tomiyasu tackled. Son, when you get tackled and you kind of run forward a little bit, he lost the ball, and Tomiyasu gets up and starts dribbling back into our half. And I didn't see Son for about a minute. He was completely out of the picture, didn't try to run back, didn't try to get it back. Kane was up there with him. And I just knew it was going to be a bad day from that minute. Wow. Because this is something that you struggle with all the time with every team, younger teams and older teams. Like, you got to have a compete level within yourself. And even if you don't have a high compete level, when it's a derby game, I don't care if you've been sleeping for the rest of the year. You need to wake up, start in the half strong. When I saw that, I just thought it was a bad sign. It was like in the warm-up, if I'm watching my players during the warm-up, if they're doing it lackadaisically, I'm like, okay, this is going to be useless. Because I need to see the intensity from the beginning. You show your heart in the beginning, So it started from there, and I wasn't surprised by the 3 goals. We didn't have anything in the middle because we went with the same pattern that Nuno's been doing, just basically Højbjerg, put Ali in the middle, and Ndombele or Skip. And it wasn't anything different. If we've lost the last 2 games 3-0, you would think that we would try something different, try to do something better in this game. It was just nothing different at all. It was just ridiculous. I don't think there's much to say because anything tactically is not really going to work if the players don't have the mentality to come in and fight on a derby day. So that's the only thing I can speak about. Now, on a good note, in the second half, when I started watching around 70 minutes in, these players started to wake up and started to feel like, hey, let's come back and do something. And so we got a goal. And then after the goal, it was like 80 minutes in, 85. Then they started gingering like they were going to come back. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I needed you to be like this an hour, 20 minutes ago. So is it the coach or is it the player? Is it the coach's job to motivate players, get players to a level where they're aggressive going into a fight? Or should a player have that within himself, especially on a derby day? And then just because it's a big elephant in the room, Kane. Like I told you guys some time ago, I wanted Kane to leave. I would love to see him go. I still want him to go. If there's a way they could open the transfer window now and let him go, I would love it. I want him to go. He doesn't want to be there. And if you take our only world-class player and you turn him into a kitten because he doesn't want to be there, so he can't even get himself up for a game like this, then you drastically reduce the potential of the team. because he's our only world-class player. I've said before, Son, I love Son, but he's a world-class finisher, but he's not a world-class player. The way he uses the ball, he's not especially creative. He's not especially quick thinking on the ball. He has greater speed of thought off the ball than on the ball, in my opinion. So our only world-class player has become an average player.
Wow.
In fact, even less than, I mean, for the last 4 or 5 games, I've been saying continuously in my Spurs chat group that Kane is the worst player on the pitch. Again, Kane's the worst player on the pitch. Again, every time. And I can't blame him completely for it because I know the situation. You can't be forced to do something against your will. He's like a kid in Castle and Castle that's in law school but doesn't want to be law school. He wants to be out in the studio making music, you know? Like that's his vibe right now. He's like, Dad, why are you forcing me to do this? So you've turned him into a kid. He can't have an impact. So there's too much to fix, but the mentality was sad to see.
And let me ask you this before I go into the Arsenal aspect of this. Nuno, how do you say his name? Nuno? Yeah. Now this is the 6th game in charge. Obviously, the first 3 games you guys won margin. I think it was 1-0 victories all through. And then the next 3 you've obviously lost them. Now, and everyone has always said that, you know, they've never really trusted Nuno. Like I will tell you, he's not a big Nuno fan. He's Mourinho to the extreme or something. Now, you were a Mourinho fan, right? Towards the beginning, you were supporting Mourinho. You liked him at your club. You liked what he was doing with your team. Now you have an extreme version of Mourinho. What are you thinking? Is he too defensive for you? Or are you content? Are you wanting to see more? Like, obviously, you're not content with the last 3 results. But what else are you trying to see from him before you write him off completely?
Okay, that's a great question. First of all, is in the first place, yes, I am a Mourinho fan. And specifically for the reason, it's not that he's greater and better than every other coach, but I think he was picked on a bit by the media. Okay, and I think he was doing a good job for us. But at a certain point, after we lost to Liverpool, we had a few losses. We lost to Liverpool. I think we tied or lost to Leicester. And then the whole story became, oh, he's too defensive. And then Mourinho did something. He actually bowed to the media and started playing us in an attacking way, put Lucas Moura through the middle and just giving them room to attack. And it didn't work out. So I was always saying, let him do what he initially wanted to do. He was being defensive because we didn't have good center backs. That's why he was being defensive. If you have a hole at the back or, you know, something that's average in the back, you have to protect it. That's why he was doing it. It was smart. Okay. Now Mourinho's gone, which is crazy. Why would you get rid of Mourinho and get rid of him before the final? When you do a transfer, the transfer might end up being it might be a good sacking, but it depends on who you bring in after. Okay. So we've gone in and brought in Nuno without saying anything about Nuno personally or tactically. Just look at the two of them. Just look at Mourinho and look at Nuno. Like, you know, you're not getting the same quality. With all due respect to Nuno, but he knows this himself as a coach. He doesn't have the tactical creativity that Mourinho has, which leads to trophies. Mm-hmm. Trophies come from you being able to react quickly, from you being able to have different ideas tactically. He just doesn't. We saw him for years at Wolves. He did it because he had some good wing backs. He used Traore and Raul Jimenez, or is it Jimenez or Jimenez? Jimenez was a big part of what he did at Wolves. Once Jimenez had that injury, if you notice, Wolves was almost blunted. They could not even score. Nuno could do nothing once he lost that quality up there. So I could see at Wolves that he didn't have that creativity to find another way to score, which was the exact opposite of what Mourinho had done at Spurs. Mourinho had come to Spurs and found another way for us to play with Kane as the quarterback in the middle and having the runs on the sides. Nobody had really done that before as a tactic. And it took us to the top of the league for the first time in 7 years. So Nuno doesn't have that tactical creativity. I've seen it already at Wolves.
Okay.
When it comes to Spurs, into a position where, like I told you, Kane has been turned to an average player because of things behind the scenes. So because of that, I'm gonna give Nuno some time.
Okay.
But it's not even about like giving him time before I write him off. I don't think he's gonna do anything.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be hard on him because I know his level and I know the team he came into. Like you're never gonna catch me at some point saying, Nuno out, Nuno out, Nuno out. Nuno will go out eventually. He wasn't supposed to be there. He shouldn't be replacing Mourinho. And he was dealt a bad hand in a way.
Okay.
So that's my position on Nuno. It's like, I respect him. I know his level. I'm not going to be Nuno out. But me and Nuno, we know the situation. At some point, he's just going.
He's going to go.
He's
Yeah.
just gonna go.
I think that's one thing I always say every time you hear clubs looking for coaches after Arsenal left, and it was like, Eddie Howe or this person or that person. And I always, in my mind, I'm like, they may be good coaches, whatever, but it's the whole big fish in small pond mentality for me. I don't like doing that. I don't like bringing coaches of teams that are average into a bigger club. And I'm saying Arteta as my coach, but I understand what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't bring the Moyes to Manchester United thing. Same idea. Like all those
exactly.
That you think you perform better if you have better players. It doesn't always change.
EJ, something's happened to your mic. Your volume is reducing.
Oh no, like I actually muted it because there was a conversation around, so I didn't want to.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna ask a question and say, oh sorry, EJ, were you gonna say something?
No, I thought you said EJ. Something happened to your mic, but you meant EJ.
Yeah, the volume got really low on EJ's mic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, EJ, your volume went low. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me now, then?
Still low.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's just very low.
You're going to have to Soros, okay?
Idris's volume is good.
Okay. Maybe
tell Spliff that with the wind. Go ahead, EJ. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm done. I said my point. But yeah, you wanted to say something before I hop into Arsenal?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something. I actually honestly respect to Steven for objectively analyzing the team and being a true fan. Like we at Chelsea are not even, honestly, bro, we're not even as gracious as you are. We're very toxic. We already know that. Like we went for Sarri's head. Well, I was one of the champions. Then people went for Frank Lampard and Tuchel came in and it was great. If you notice, I didn't bash Tuchel. I said, like, to be honest, he overthought it, but we do have issues too. He needs to cover certain things. Because the truth of the matter was there was a way we went in the transfer market. The Iron Lady herself, Marina, forever. I'm just impressed with how amazing that woman is. But at the same time, there's things she's done that I'm like, yo, this is gonna come back and bite us in the eye. Let's be very honest. Rumors have it Antonio Rudiger wants to go to Real Madrid free.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Rumors have it that he wants to go on a free because he wants to earn the same money Kai Havertz and Co is earning. Here's the problem, right? We've gotten rid of two amazing players. Everybody backed it because it's going to balance the books in Chelsea are going to be able to say we have a fair play, right? If Rudiger is this is Silva's last season, and anything can happen, right? He's 37. We have a massive
Thiago.
Not just Thiago. Sorry. We have a massive hole. We're not talking about like a massive hole of talent, experience is key.
Yeah.
Finding who can replace Liga and Silva is, I can't even fathom the well, we need either one of the kids that have actually been around them to cover. But Chelsea was going through the whole like, oh, it's all good, we can bring anybody in. That's worse. You said something that was very good. Nuno was dealt very crap. I'm not better than she can, let's be honest. Like the way they went about hiring it to what they have right now, and the demeanor of Kane. I mean, my God, like at this point, it's just Levy. I don't know, man. I don't know. The way the guy runs the club, it went from an attacking coach to Mourinho, then he goes from Mourinho to Mourinho. I'm not understanding what philosophy you're trying to build.
Right.
The players for Pochettino are still there,
Yes.
and they're not used to digging in, grinding out wins like the Mourinho mentality. Then you bring in a coach who is a very diehard in that philosophy, And as Steven said, first minute you're seeing two guys walking past the line. In that defensive setup, you can't have one guy not pulling their weight. You can't have that. And so I honestly don't know what we're talking about. Everything just looks strange. And I can't blame the coach, honestly. I sincerely believe.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I loud enough? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump into Arsenal just a little bit. Not a little bit. I'll probably give as much as Stephen has spoken about his team. So I think for us, and maybe it's different because Arteta played for us, and obviously he's been a coach at Arsenal for longer than Nuno has been a coach for you guys. But I'm pretty sure he was able to get his team pumped for this game. I think that was not something that was a problem. So,
okay, quick question. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I want to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think it's the coach's responsibility to get them pumped for a derby like this, or do the players have some responsibility? Because
I think
put it on Arteta, which it could be.
I'm saying that I did say Arteta because he's the face of the team, and we heard from him, before the match. So yes, I understand what he did to make sure to emphasize that his team needs to perform today. But yeah, you can't remove the fact that the players themselves have to also be gingered or be engaged and know that they have to show up at home against Tottenham. Yeah. And like I said, these players, even your players have played this match. They played these games, but you have diehard Arsenal fans in the club. You have Saka, you have ESR. These are players that they know what it is. So I think we were very up for it. We were very sharp from the beginning, and we have been sharp in our last few games early. It just never translated to goals. So I was very shocked to see a goal come out in the first 10, 11 minutes. I was very shocked. I wasn't expecting it. I did expect that we would win. I expected we would win because we had won our last 3 games. That was going into the game was that, okay, Nuno, we hadn't beaten Nuno's Wolves in at least a couple tries. Last season, they did the double over. Yeah, so I was like, oh, I'm concerned because it's not Wolves, it's Spurs, but it's still the coach is, someone that probably has a lot of confidence coming against Arteta. That was my only concern. But the fact that we've won our last 3 games kind of told me that I felt a little bit better, even though those games were not that great. If you guys, when I watched, who did we play last week? Burnley. I was very angry after Burnley. I was the one victory, but our finishing was lacking. Would see them try. Saka couldn't finish. ESR couldn't finish. It was just Pepe couldn't finish. It was just poor, even though we won the game. But everyone was telling me, you have to wait, or we'll see. We don't know. So, like I said, I did think we would win, but I wasn't expecting 3-0 in the first half. That was wonderful to watch. And you have to give Arteta the kudos because Arteta's, if you go on Twitter, Arsenal Twitter is divided 90-10%. 90% Arteta out, 10% Arteta in. It's not close. It's not half and half. It's not close at all. So,
but then that means it's not divided.
That's not divided.
I know. It's not divided, right? They're very heavily Arteta out. And the fact is, no one truly has belief that he can turn the club around. The one thing everyone has been saying, though, is that we need to get Arteta his team. First 3 games of the season, we didn't have all the players back. This week was the first weekend where every single player for Arsenal was fit to be selected. So it was like, no excuses, right? Arteta, you have your squad. Pick the players you want. Put out the team you want. Let's see what you can do. And the man comes and gives us a 3-0 halftime victory over. The reason I say 3-0 halftime is because we took our foot off the brakes in the second half. We let you guys come in. We tried to absorb the pressure. Even that goal you guys scored, Shaka almost died for that goal. Like he was injured. I feel like if it wasn't our player was the one that caused the injury, I would say our player knocked into Shaka and hit him. Otherwise that goal may have been overruled. Maybe. So
I feel you.
It was like the build up to play. There was an injury there that they could have stopped the play for. Is my point. But even Ramsdale is someone I want to shout out. Like Ramsdale, our new goalkeeper that I would say has displaced Leno, has just been. I don't know whether it's because he understands that English football is important. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a German English disconnect, but he's very, very pumped. The first thing he said when he did his interview to join us was that, well, Leno has done a good job, but I'm here to push him to the end and take his shirt. And that was what he said. And I was like, whoa, okay. I like this kind of,
See, that's a high compete level.
Yes, that was important because now what we're seeing is that Leno has not played since the last time he allowed 5 minutes.
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Ramsdale is the United backup, right?
No. He was from Burnley.
Yeah, was it Sheffield or Burnley?
One of those
yeah, I think Sheffield. Yeah, it's good.
Ramsdale has relegated with 3 teams in the past. So all of us were scared. We're like, wow, are we going to be the 4th? Well, obviously, we're not getting relegated to this team. But no, he's been such a good addition, I think. Just in the last 2 games I've seen him play. Actually, I've seen him play very, very comfortable in the box. And just pumped. Like I said, that attitude is key. In the back where you're constantly engaging with your defenders, telling them, kudos to us and Arteta for getting that right and getting him and paying out money. And everyone talked about, we spent $30 million or £30 million on the goalkeeper that has relegated 3 times. But no, that was a good signing so far. We're seeing that. And then ESR, I'm going to share this comment here. I think what he's saying is true. ESR was great. Assist and a goal. Just last week we were saying that this guy, I was saying that he needs to work on his finishing, and then he comes back to give us a goal. Oba got a goal. Everyone's saying that he's washed. So the fact that he got a goal was important for him. Oh yeah, it looks good. And we played with majority of the same players for about 7 months.
EJ, I think your volume is down again, or is it just me?
Okay, is it down again for everyone?
Don't tell her. This is my favorite part of the weekend. An Arsenal fan try to gloat about the win, and her volume is down. No. Keep going.
I'll fix it.
Nobody's going to hear this gloating. I love it.
But yes, so I think for us, it was important. We had to keep. We started off so slowly. 3 games, 3 losses, 7 minus 9 goal difference. We had no choice but to win, and we did what we had to do. So now we're on the upward trajectory. I don't know who we play next week. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even care. I want to and make sure that we continue the pace. So I do want to give Arteta credit, and I do want to announce that I'm no longer Arteta sending in, sending out. I'm like you now with I'm with Arteta. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see.
Oh, okay. You're willing to give him a chance now.
EJ, to end in tears. To end in tears.
This is interesting. You're the first Arsenal fan I've met that is willing to give him a chance.
Yeah.
People are. I told you 10% on Twitter.
Yeah.
The thing is this. I think Toby, who is our former Arsenal fan, now PSG supporter, he said this. He made it clear that look, Arteta's not going anywhere. He said the way everything is set up, they gave him his players. They put money into his idea, so he's not going anywhere. So I'm not going to be Arteta out every single weekend. Okay. So I'm just going to be, let's see what's happening. And I agree, it likely end in tears because but I like what I saw today so much that I'm willing to relax. Okay. I'm not going to, cry about it. Obviously no one's crying about it, but I'm not going to say, okay, on the back of this victory, Arteta out again. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pause that. Pause that talk.
I just want to say one special mention though for our team.
Yeah.
The player that I love, man. I don't know. Some of the Spurs fans don't really love him. They feel like he's too physical. But when we talk about somebody who wants to play, who wants to fight, who has skill, Japhet the Great, Tanganga, man, I think he will be just better and better and great in future. I hope he gets to the English team.
Okay.
I think he was one of our only players who was up for the game today.
Gotcha.
From the beginning. So I just loved seeing him because Tierney is so good. The guys who impressed me on your team were pretty much Odegaard.
Odegaard was great.
Tierney is just that guy. He's like Ashley Cole. You know, the way that Ashley Cole was just 100% every game.
Yeah.
You can play him
injured.
In a second game. Oh, did he get injured?
No, he always gets injured every other game. I'm still watching him.
Yeah, but you're right. He's out sometimes. But every game I see him, I don't know if he's back or if he's in therapy, but when he's on the field, this boy is 100% up and down the line. And Tanganga was just up for it. You know, he's not the best yet, but he was just ready for that challenge. I saw that from the beginning, and he's like that every time. So I really appreciated Tanganga's game. You know, the first goal sucked because Smith Rowe just, you know, snuck in the middle.
Yes.
And you got to be marking tighter. You know, it's goal side, arm's length.
Yeah. And
none of our defenders were really doing that. But yeah, Tanganga was great. That's all I wanted to say. And I hate y'all players. I hate all of you players.
Fair.
I can't stand it today.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to our awards, weekly awards, kudos and donkeys of the week. Yannicka, we haven't heard from you in a while. Do you have anyone that you want to single out for an award that did such a good job this weekend, or anything in particular?
There's quite a few. I think this weekend's been quite a strange weekend for results. Because in terms of managers, obviously Arteta's done well this weekend. Pep did well this weekend. Aston Villa's Dean Smith, is it? He did well this weekend. So there's quite a few managers that you can call out. In terms of players, again, from the City game, because obviously that's the one I watched most closely, I thought Bernardo Silva was excellent. You know, he just ran the whole pitch, the whole 90 minutes. I thought Rodri was really good. Rodri was my man of the match, personally. I think he cut everything out. And then Diaz was solid at the back. Laporte was solid at the back. So I'd say Rodri for City. I thought he had a really good performance, especially as he's just come back from injury. To come in, and we know how good Kante is, you know, and he kind of reduced Kante's game. So, yeah, I thought Rodri was good. So yeah, he's my
Your kudos.
my shout out.
Okay, Idris, what about you?
Honestly, I was just gonna say Napoli immediately because they're still like unbeaten in all. I was following AS Roma because of Mourinho and my boy Tammy Abraham. But right now it's like Napoli with Victor Osimhen. He just seemed like a completely different beast right now. But just keep watching. That's my kudos for now.
Okay. And Steven, what about you?
Kudos of the week definitely has to go to Mikel Arteta. Come on, man. I gotta give it to him. I was quite happy that you said you're supporting him now because this man needs a break, man. I mean, come on. I know I should be against him, but I think all that stuff is crazy. Like when you see a good moment for somebody that's been under the cosh for a year plus, I mean, to win an NLD, it's not his first one though.
It's his third or fourth. Maybe his third. It's at least his third.
Yeah, but to win this one, especially the way they're coming back for the season, I mean, I thought kudos, man. You did great. And to win it well too, you know, it wasn't one of those tight games. He won really well. So yeah.
Yeah, he's mine as well. I think one thing we haven't seen from Arteta is I think he's been trying to be the cool manager, just stand on the sidelines, fist bump when he score a goal. Like you saw Arteta dancing on the sideline, up and down. I was like, "What? Who is this guy? I don't recognize it." But and I think that translated to the fans. Even the commentators were mentioning it. Like, okay, wait, he's the cool, collected guy. What is this? What are these antics he's showing on the sidelines? It was great. So he enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, and he did everything. It's almost like it's hard to say where he put their foot wrong today if you watch the game. So, and you could call any number of people the man of the match, but I would give him, because if he lost the match, we would call him out. So I think he gets that for me.
No, I'm not gonna say that he did too much. I mean, we made it easy.
You guys did.
He didn't.
Let him take it, Steven. Let him take it.
He didn't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't fuck it up.
So many people wrote him off though. Like they were like, "Oh, Nuno's gonna get this," and blah blah blah. Tottenham they need to win this, so they're going to win it. But they didn't. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the donkey of the week. I'll start, and this one is not really. I don't know. This whole situation at United, because we haven't really talked about United, so let's talk about United as a team. I think they are the collective donkey. They're the whole donkey. But the whole team is the donkey of the week. And the reason I say this is because I don't know what's going on, and I feel like that whole situation I heard. I think I saw it on Facebook, and I don't know how true it is, but someone said it was true. Maybe we should verify it somehow. That when it came to take the penalty, that Pogba pulled Bruno aside, or pulled CR7 aside, and said it should be Bruno. So I don't know. Is Pogba the captain of the team? I don't know, but that's strange. And then Bruno misses the penalty and then goes on Twitter or wherever, Instagram stories, and writes 2-page essay about why he missed it. I'm sorry for missing the penalty. I wish I didn't. I'll come back stronger. I'm like, bro, it was a penalty.
He ain't coming back stronger, man.
You're not that guy penalty, bro. You're not playing another penalty.
Exactly.
That's the long and short of that. So and United fans have been we have CR7, we're going to win the league. And I said they probably will win the league, but now I don't think so anymore, because they do things like this. They don't know who's taking their penalties, and whoever's taking the penalty gets messed up. But if we all say that, anyone can miss a penalty, it's not a big deal. But I don't like that dynamic that happened there. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know. But Aston Villa is a good team. Even though they lost their best player, they're still a solid team. We know who Martinez is. He's not just going to let too many goals past him. So I know he had nothing to do with saving that penalty. But I don't know. United, how did they even play that match? I was watching City's match. I didn't really watch their match. I don't know how they did, but I was surprised that they lost the game. So they're the donkey. And I just wanted to say that. Okay. Idris, we'll go with you next. Who's your donkey?
Oh, you already gave everybody donkey. So we're just sharing this donkey. For me, I was going to go Bruno Fernandes. Right? First and foremost, I don't care what they were saying behind. I've always been worried that once the big man from his village shows up to his office, something will happen. Ronaldo showed up. I'm like, this guy better start scoring. This guy better score this penalty. Now that he's skyrocketed, I'm glad on the open panel all agreed that he's never taking a penalty. Which means for those in FPL, if they have Bruno anywhere close to us, he's a must sell this weekend. Flip that guy out of it, because it's like I saw the penalty. There's a social media what's it called? Video of a penalty from the back of the post. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. And I don't know what he was thinking. Yeah, he gets my donkey. I mean, Ole for sure. However, I think this is Ole's second straight loss or something like that.
Yes, if you include the midweek match, because they lost in Carabao Cup to West Ham.
So that's like 3 now.
No, they didn't lose the match before.
They didn't lose the Champions League. Oh, sorry, Champions League won.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They lost Carabao, they lost this one.
Yeah.
Oga Kwame is about to pop with us. Very soon.
We need to check on.
Even the penalty was not really a penalty. It was ball to hand. And I don't know. I just thought it was harsh. Like we say in America, ball don't lie. When you get a fake penalty, you're not going to make it 90% of the time. Because
I always believe that. That's crazy. Yeah, I agree.
Ball don't lie, bro. As you said, ball don't lie.
All right,
it doesn't always happen, but karma gets you sometimes.
Yeah. Who's your donkey, Yannicka?
Yeah, I was going to say Bruno. I think just United in general, like, I knew they were, well, they could potentially win it, but I know they're not going to win the league. Like, City and Chelsea and Liverpool are all much better. They're not consistent enough. To win the league, you need to be able to go on like a 10-win run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can do that. They're always going to mess it up. Ronaldo scores a lot of goals, as we know. But a lot of his goals have been kind of goalkeeper mistakes. Like, and I'm not saying he's not in the right place at the right time, but it's not like I think he scored one really, really good goal. But a lot of them are kind of just like goals that I think anyone in the United team would put in the back of the net. But we know how good Ronaldo is, so I'm sure he will get better as the season goes on. That being said, it's the rest of the team because, they're still conceding goals.
Yes.
And I think some of the teams that they're losing to as well, like, everyone was kind of ruling us out because we lost to Spurs. But Spurs always turn up against City. So I wasn't really surprised about that. And obviously we drew to Southampton, but United also drew to Southampton. And then, losing to Young Boys, getting knocked out the Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup was their best chance of a trophy, if we're being honest, because I think with the Carabao Cup, City don't really need to win it. We've won it the last 4 years. Yeah. Arsenal probably more likely to go for the FA Cup. Like Chelsea won't care about it. Like I think Man United could have won that early and then kind of said, okay, we've won a trophy.
Yeah.
What is everyone else going to do? And it would have put pressure on Chelsea, City, Liverpool, to win something because they would have been the team that had won something. So,
Yannicka,
I want the Carabao Cup this season, but yeah.
Well, you see,
Huh?
Yannicka like pseudos flexing on you guys. Like, if I was United, I would take the Carabao Cup. Like something that's totally beneath her and her cup. It's like Arsenal will win it. I was just listening to her jibes. I was like, this girl. All right, keep going. It's like Chelsea wouldn't
win it because we're tired of winning it.
It's like
what?
Chelsea wouldn't care.
All the split that they get, trust me. Like I love it. I love to see it. You know what I mean? Like City winning and United losing is perfect. Like it's a great weekend. But yeah, I think like their fans. See, the fans that I know, the fans that I do streams with, they're very realistic. They're saying we're not going to win anything under Oli until we get a good manager. We're not going to win anything. But you do get them fans that are like, oh, we're winning the quadruple.
Quadruple.
Okay, I want to read this comment real quick before I go to Ono. Today's truth, according to Yannicka, is bitter, but the truth is the truth. Meanwhile, please take good care of Grealish for me. Heartbreak of transfer window for me. Oh,
Is it a Villa fan?
Is he a Villa fan?
He's a United fan.
Okay, I'm about to say he sounds more United to me.
He's a United fan.
Really
Yeah.
likes.
I think he wanted Grealish at United rather than TSM.
Yeah, Grealish has done really well so far. Like a lot of people are saying, like they look at like stats and they're like, oh, he's got 1 goal, 1 assist in both the Champions League and the Prem. But if you actually watch him, he's been creating a lot of chances. He's been doing really well. So I'm very happy with Grealish. Everyone was saying we didn't need him. I think we did need him at the time because Bernardo Silva was supposed to leave. Luckily, he's stayed because, for me, Bernardo Silva, when De Bruyne is out, Bernardo Silva is the perfect guy to come in. He always comes in and does well. Yeah. So, yeah, it's nice to see. Obviously, he was very good against Chelsea. But I think that's because he was in the position that he prefers. Because I know with Pep, he's moved him around quite a bit, but he does like to be in the midfield. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, like, it's not, like, with United, obviously, I don't think United are going to be bad forever. That's why I'm milking it while it lasts. But, it's just, they do deserve it. Sorry, but, like.
They do.
Yeah.
They're getting too pompous for their own good.
I just can't believe that they wouldn't have Ronaldo take the penalty. That's an insult to me. That's disrespect. I think it really is disrespectful.
Yeah.
It really
Did you
is.
see what the goalkeeper was saying? He was
Yeah.
like, "You take it
Yeah.
it to Ronaldo."
Yeah.
Martinez, he wanted Ronaldo to take it.
That
That's
is
funny.
crazy to me.
Ronaldo would have scored it though. That's the thing.
But like, okay,
Ronaldo-
so Ronaldo of what?
I think he would have scored the penalty.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh
taken
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Ronaldo and
I
Bennett.
I think even the fact that Ronaldo was
behind.
behind him, I think the fact that Ronaldo was behind Bruno even messed him up.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying, EJ.
Yeah.
Like in the national team, Bruno does not exist. It's
No.
Bernardo Silva. Like Bruno is just coming through. So now that he's come to Bruno's yard,
Mhm.
Bruno is no more the breadwinner. He's now.
Like, how can Cavani hand his number 7 jersey and you don't think you can give up the penalty?
Penalty. Like, who are you?
No way.
I couldn't believe it, man. I really couldn't. Like, and the timing of it too. You know, those
Yeah.
90-minute ones. Even West Ham have the respect to go call Mark Noble and say, "Bro, Uncle, come take this penalty." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mayday, take this penalty. and United could not do that. Come on, Bruno, you tripping, man? Get out of here.
Nah, like that was Ronaldo. That was written Ronaldo all over it. Like 90th
The
minute.
glory, the whole everything.
Yeah.
The moment.
It's a character building event for Bruno.
It is your
You know
fool.
what? To be fair, in terms of kudos of the week, actually, Martinez does actually deserve a shout because not only did he defend well, but I think him pointing at Ronaldo made them sort of think, let Bruno take it.
Yeah.
Which then, so
I think it did throw them off. He was like, it
Yeah.
almost looked like, okay, I've been studying you. I want you to
Yeah.
take it. You get here and take it.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Reverse psychology, man. He knew he would have died.
yeah,
if
he
Ronaldo
was like, I want
didn't.
you. That's so funny.
It was so funny. It was dramatic. It was good.
Man, then maybe Ronaldo, I mean, he stood down from that challenge then.
No, Pogba, they said Pogba pulled him aside and told him to stand back. I need to see the video of that. I don't know.
I think,
That's
I'm sure when they get back to that dressing room, they have some very choice words for each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, you guys have said it. As soon as we said it, before we even got into the donkey, EJ, you, Steven, and Yannicka, you always say he will never. It's like everybody knows.
Yes.
Nothing for you again. Just let it go.
Man, I don't know. Anyway, for my donkey of the week, honestly, when I had somebody in mind, okay, but when I opened this StreamYard up and I looked at who was here, I immediately wanted to give it to Io for running away from this. I said, "What?
I just gonna watch this and be like, how dare you?"
Really?
You're not gonna come and eat this loss and talk about it? Come on, man." Anyway, but we haven't started bringing Donkey of the Weeks home to us yet. So let me just
Not yet.
chill. Let me chill on that. My Donkey of the Week is the second worst substitution I've seen this season, apart from Ole bringing on Lingard against Young Boys. This team in red, they've just conceded a goal in the 63rd minute.
Oh, Liverpool.
They just have their young boy from the academy who's doing good. I think he's gotten his first goal maybe in the Premier League. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's his
I
first.
think he scored before, but it was a key goal in the game, yeah.
He scored a key shot, put them up. And it's the kind of game where Brentford is good, but Liverpool have more firepower. So I felt like if they got up, they could defend the lead. You know, if they got up and had some confidence about it, they could hold their own. It's one of those games that would be 3-1, 4-2, 4-3.
Yes.
As soon as this kid scores, what do I see? He pulls him off. He has the boost, the confidence. You pull him off. He's not tired because this kid is just a young lion. He's not tired. Then what does he do? The most important thing is, what does he do? Like I said before about the transfer, if you take somebody away, the key thing is, what are you replacing it with? He brings in Firmino, but not to play as a striker, left wing, and pulls Mane back, right wing, and plays 2 up front. And it just loses them that midfield control they had from 3 in the middle. And the next thing you know, Brentford starts acting like they're a team.
Brentford is a
Oh
team.
my
Okay?
gosh. I couldn't believe it. I was looking at it. I was like, what are you doing, man? I really started feeling like, this coaching thing, man, it gave me an idea for myself. I said, I'm going to start going on recruiting drives because a big part of this coaching thing is not tactical genius.
Mm.
It's the players you have, man. Jurgen Klopp, he's good. Yes, he's a good manager, but he's been benefiting off some incredible players playing for him.
I kept saying
How
that.
do you make this
Fans were like,
substitution? Are you crazy? Like, how do you have that in your mind to play Firmino? Firmino, last time I saw him on the wing was like when he first came to Liverpool before Jurgen Klopp, and they were playing him on the wing. Remember, like as a left winger, and it was stupid. It never worked. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I was just like, how? Like maybe he's just been skating off the fact of having so many ball players on the team. They've got Mane, Salah, Thiago, people that just love the ball, pass and move. I'm like, I still can't understand it till now. So he's just a donkey until he explains to me what he was thinking. He's a donkey. I just still don't understand it.
Okay, so Klopp is your donkey of the week. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Can I say this?
You don't need that draw, man. And to get Curtis Jones out, oh Lord.
Well, people laughed at us when we lost to Brentford with our haphazard team after we lost all our players to COVID at the first game of the season.
Let's not forget, Steven said, Brentford started acting like a team. Are you a team or you're not a team?
Brentford is a team. Let's give them credit.
That's EJ. That's what EJ saying. Our team is not a team.
No, that's not what I said.
No. Brentford
I'm saying that we need to give Brentford credit. That's my point. Because they are, I believe they're above us on the table, just maybe by goal difference. I think they have the exact same points.
Yeah.
But they're solid. They're here to play, and they showed up to Liverpool. Well, they're at home against Liverpool.
EJ, no, sorry, no. Don't come and use my donkey of the week to try to make excuses for Arsenal.
I'm waiting for EJ. I'm waiting for EJ.
No.
My point is this: Liverpool at full strength. Liverpool at full strength drew with Brentford, who beat us at quarter strength. That's my point.
Don't turn my donkey in the week into your excuse for Arsenal.
I just think that I agree a little bit with the coach of the week.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. This has been good. It's been a good hour talking about these clubs and these matches. So I'm gonna wrap us up with just go Gunners, like we killed it today. Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to say. I wanted to say on the podcast.
Wow, that's how we're gonna wrap up.
This is why I'm tired of Arsenal fans. Everybody wishes them pain for stuff like this. From nowhere. I was actually like, EJ be dropping gems. She said, "Book on us." Excuse you.
But on the real, it's been great. Lovely discussion. Thank you all. Thank you, Yannicka. Thank you, Idris. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us today, even though we had some technical difficulties and some time confusion. Hope you guys enjoy the podcast. I hope you enjoy it when you listen to it, when you get a chance. But next week, like I said, I'm not really sure what games are happening next week. We need to look at the schedule and just see. Wait, no. We have City and Liverpool.
We play Liverpool, yeah.
Okay, that's a
Mad game.
Let's get what's a quick prediction, very, very quickly. What are your predictions for that match? This is at Anfield. So, Yannicka, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think City wins?
Our record at Anfield is really, really bad. So I don't see us winning. I'd take a draw, personally. But then if Liverpool play how they played against Brentford, we should be beating them. So I think it just depends which City turn up and which Liverpool turn up. But yeah, Anfield's always a difficult place, especially with fans. So I don't know. We've won there once since 2003.
Oh, really? That long?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. We beat them there. I think it was Anelka scored in 2003, which says it all.
Ooh.
And then we didn't win again until last season. So
okay, you did beat them last season. I'm not making that up. You beat them at home last season. Got it. Okay, and that was a very, it's like 4-1.
2003. Yeah, then it was 4-1 last season.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's what is fresh in my mind, and I just saw that. I was like, and I don't know. I'm looking at Liverpool. They look good, and I think it may be because the Van Dijk effect is helping them not concede goals. I don't know what's going on. They're looking good. I didn't think they would be even close. I thought they'd be fourth this season, but I think they're definitely title challengers and contenders. I consider challengers and contenders different people. I think contenders are the people that could win. Challengers are people that will never win, but are trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, the contenders, I consider them one of them now. But I still think City will win this game.
We should. But
I say a tie.
Anfield.
I say you'll tie, but could be proven wrong.
Why I'm sure is how the Chelsea. If Bernardo Silva is playing his position, Rodrigo's in the game, Pep doesn't overthink it. He gets one off. Sure.
Okay. Good. Well, once again, thank you all, and I will end the podcast now. Have a good weekend. Rest of the week. Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right, bye.
Yeah.